Alright, so Chase and American Express are in what I would like to call the pandemic wars or whatnot, and they've been constantly ramping up the benefits on a lot of their cards, and fortunately for us consumers, it's looking pretty nice. But they've definitely taken two different philosophies with how they want to go about keeping customers on board with these travel cards that aren't really too useful right now, considering people can't really travel like they usually would be able to. So let's see what these two philosophies are and who's winning the pandemic wars. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Mike's Travels and Cents, where I go over points and travel strategies, and more importantly, how not to go broke while enjoying it all. If that sounds good to you, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on future content like this. And if you found some value in this video, drop me a like to let me know. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. And as you can see behind me, we are in the new filming location. Not my location, obviously, but it is the base that I currently it is the base that I currently work at, and behind me is the B-52G variant, which we'll get into the variant a little later. But yeah, behind me is the B-52, which is the aircraft that actually operates out of this base, Barksdale Air Force Base here in Shreveport, Louisiana. And so that's why I chose this aircraft as the first aircraft for the videos that I'm gonna be doing, as long as I can, you know, come out here and consistently make videos out here on these static displays of these aircraft. So really quickly about the aircraft.
Hey, Mike Kelly from the future editing this video with my radio voice. This B-52G on display flew 35 missions, including the first 3 low-level missions during Desert Storm from January to February 1991, and accumulated over 100 missions over Southeast Asia. Its paint scheme is the same as it was during Desert Storm.
Alright, so now that we got that part out of the way, let's get into the topic of the video. And as always, this is the first video. This should be the first video of the week. So I'll be doing my subscriber shout out for my new subscribers at the end of this video. But let's get into it. Alright, so this battle between American Express and Chase right now for keeping their travel credit card holders on board is, as I said earlier, really good for us consumers. And there's really two philosophies that they're really emphasizing. So Chase is really emphasizing multipliers on their cards, which is where Chase has been traditionally weak at. That 3x multiplier on their flagship card, the Sapphire Reserve, really paled in comparison to that 5x multiplier on Amex's Platinum card. So they've really been increasing those multipliers on their cards, whereas American Express has really been increasing the credits that they're offering to consumers on their cards, which is where they have historically been very weak. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at these big changes, go over this philosophy, all of these benefits that they've rolled out since this whole craziness started. And once we get to Chase, I do have a secret targeted offer that I haven't seen anybody else talk about, and I think it's gonna be pretty good. It's a your mileage may vary kind of thing, but I'll definitely have those links for it in the description of this video, so check for those. But let's get into it. Starting with American Express's native cards, and I'd also like to note that some of these credits or multipliers may have expired by now, or at least by the time you're watching this video. First up, the American Express Platinum card is offering up to $320 on streaming and phone services, so you're going to be getting $20 in statement credits for each of those categories for the 6 months since that offer started, which is going to total up to $320. Additionally, the business platinum card is going to get another $200 credit for Dell, and that's going to look like $100 added to that $100 that you would already have from May through June, and then another $100 for July through December. And rounding out the charge cards, the American Express Green card is actually going to get an $80 wireless credit as well, and that's going to look like a statement credit of up to $10 per month. Now looking at American Express's co-branded cards, and they didn't add any credits, but they did convert a lot of the existing credits on those cards to something a little bit more pandemic friendly. The American Express Bonvoy Brilliant and the Hilton Aspire card have both had the credits on those respective cards converted to restaurant credits. So now that's $300 on the Bonvoy Brilliant that you can now use at restaurants, and $250 for the Hilton Aspire that you can now use as restaurants as well. As far as multipliers go, the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card is now earning 6x at grocery stores with a spend cap of $7,500, and the Hilton Aspire card and Hilton Surpass card are now earning 12x at grocery stores with no spend cap. Also, all Delta personal cards are now earning 4x at US supermarkets. And last but not least, not exactly tied to a specific card, but American Express is offering up to $50 in statement credits for spending at small businesses. And fortunately, I've managed to take advantage of this at least 3 times already. So I'm pretty good at stimulating the economy, pretty patriotic, you know, all that stuff. But anyway, it's a really good credit. You do have to actually enroll for it on American Express, but once you do that, you'll start seeing, they'll actually give you a notification every time you do make an exchange at a small business, and you'll get your $5 credit probably within the next day or two. At least that's how it's been for me. Before getting off of Amex, I would like to note that there have been no changes to the American Express Gold Card, because fortunately and somewhat unfortunately, it's pretty much the perfect pandemic card with those spend categories, restaurants, and supermarkets. So there's no need to make any changes. If you're somebody that had that card, American Express had no reason to feel like they needed to compensate you for not being able to use that airline credit, I guess. All right, now moving on to Chase, and just to note again, some of these offers or multipliers may have expired by the time you're watching this video, so keep that in mind. And don't forget about that special targeted offer that I mentioned earlier in the video that we're gonna get to. Just give me a second. We're gonna get to it. I promise it's gonna be worth it. And as I mentioned earlier, Chase is really emphasizing updating these multipliers, so that's what we're gonna see a lot of with Chase. And starting off with the big changes they've made to the Sapphire Reserve. First off, you're gonna be earning 5x on the Sapphire Reserve for Instacart purchases, and this is something that's going on till about 30 September. But yeah, you're gonna be earning 5x on Instacart purchases on up to $3,000 worth of spend. So that's going to give you a grand total at most of 15,000 ultimate rewards. For those who may not know, because you're like me, Instacart is pretty much a grocery delivery service. I have never and had never used it before, so I did have to look it up to kind of see what it looked like. I had heard of it just from doing this, you know, YouTube stuff, but yeah, I wasn't too familiar with the program. Another change to the Sapphire Reserve is that it's now earning 5x at gas stations on a total of up to $1,500 worth of gas station spend, which is going to net you at most 7,500 ultimate rewards. The Sapphire Preferred is also getting a piece of that multiplier pie, which means you can also earn 3x on your Instacart orders if you have the Sapphire Preferred, and that's going to have a spend cap of $3,000 as well, meaning you can total up to 9,000 ultimate reward points if you max out that Instacart category. And again, the Sapphire Preferred is playing little brother to the Sapphire Reserve. Instead of 5x, you're going to be able to earn 3x at gas stations on up to $1,500 in spend, netting you a total, if you were to maximize it, 4,500 ultimate rewards. Stepping out from the Reserve shadow, and the Sapphire Preferred will actually be earning 5x on streaming services on up to $1,500 in spend, meaning you could get up to 7,500 ultimate reward points. An expired offer is the 5x multiplier that used to be on the Sapphire Preferred, where you would get 5x on DoorDash and Talk orders for a spend cap of $500, meaning you can get 2,500 ultimate reward points. And now in a little bit murkier area of Chase's promotion period during this whole pandemic thing, they've had several targeted offers on insurance and phone bills and utility payments that could get you, in some cases, up to 10,000 ultimate reward points for doing very minor payments on those spend categories. But those were targeted offers, and I tried all the links for them and none of them worked for any of my cards. So again, they were targeted offers, but you can I'll probably just add the links to those in the description of this video, and you can try them if you want. I'm pretty sure you can still sign up for them, and if they may work for some of you. Fortunately, I have the Chase in Cash, which pretty much has me covered, giving me a 5x multiplier on my phone bill, my internet, and yeah, so the only thing I'll be missing is insurance and utilities, but I can live without that. Alright, so as far as credits go, Chase has converted the usual annual travel credit on the Sapphire Reserve to now being a gas station and grocery store credit. And I can't forget about even though it's not technically a credit, I can't forget about their pay yourself back program, which allows you to use your ultimate reward points to essentially erase charges on your bill for either 1.5 or 1.25 cents per ultimate reward point, depending on which Sapphire card you have, or if you have the Ink Business Preferred. I think that also still counts. All right, and now for the secret offer that I mentioned earlier in the video, and this was an offer that I got directly from Chase in my email directly. So the thing that caught my attention really was the whole Spotify perks or whatever. So one, you're gonna get a 5x multiplier on Spotify for up to 6 months after you have to actually enroll your card to do this, like all of Chase's offers. So you can get 5x multiplier on your Spotify purchases, which is gonna save you a total of $3 over the course of those 6 months. And you can get a 6-month premium Spotify account, no charge. And then after the 6-month mark, you can actually then start getting 5x on Spotify, and it's going to be basically a 3-month buffer, because that 5x will pretty much expire come March. So if you were to get it right now, you would have it for free for 6 months, and then you'd have to pay premium for about 3 months, which is, so yeah, it's a good bit. But yeah, I already enrolled my card and I'm enjoying it. I never used Spotify before, but there's a special offer, and I'm definitely gonna have those links for that in the description. Keep in mind, it is a targeted offer, so your miles are gonna vary with that. Looking at Chase's co-branded cards, and there's a brand new United co-branded card offer. It's pretty new, and you're gonna get 10 to 15% back on those United purchases on purchases greater than $100, and they're gonna cap it out at $57 specifically, a very specific number. But nonetheless, you're gonna get 10 to 15% back off. Personally, I'm getting the 15% off, and I don't know if I'll actually be able to use it, but there you go. Another now expired offer that Chase had for pretty much almost all of its co-branded cards was a 3 or 5x multiplier on grocery spend with a cap of $1,500, which means you could have gotten up to 4,500 or 7,500 miles or points, depending on which card you were using and how aggressive you were in hitting that spending category. Also, Chase's Marriott co-branded cards now have a 6x multiplier on that grocery spend for a cap of $5,000, meaning you can get up to 30,000 Marriott points if you were to maximize that category. Chase's Marriott cards will also be getting a 10x multiplier on dining and gas with a $3,500 spend cap on that, meaning you can get up to 35,000 Marriott points if you were to maximize those categories, and that's $3,500 combined for both of those categories, so not a total of $7,000, you know, for it's combined. So the big question here, which I'm sure is on everybody's mind just as much as it's on my mind, is what's gonna stick? What benefits are gonna be here when the dust settles and we're still holding on to these, you know, if you have to pay the annual fee, and we're still holding on to these expensive credit cards, and the travel industry may or may not have recovered. So what I would at least like to see from Chase is to make the Sapphire Preferred and Sapphire Reserve complimentary. It seems they've kind of experimented a little bit, giving the CSP some multipliers that they didn't give the Sapphire Reserve. So they've at least experimented with a little bit. For American Express, I'd like to see them be a little more creative with those credits. Everybody's always complaining about those airline credits on all of their co-branded cards, and I think this was at least a good trial run to see how people responded. Not that I don't think they know people would really like a simple credit, but I would really like to see them do something better with the credits on their cards. But who do you think is winning? Let me know in the comments down below. Whose rollout of benefits do you like better, American Express's or Chase? And definitely let me know if I've missed any benefits in this video. Personally, you know my mantra, the only thing more valuable than your points is your money. The only thing more valuable than your money is your time. So I like getting money back or not having to spend money more than I like being reimbursed for the money that I've already spent, especially when you're talking, you know, essentially pennies on the dollar, literally. But yeah, I think it really depends on what your plans are when travel kind of opens back up. If you plan on really hitting the ground running and you're going to be aggressive with the traveling, I think Chase actually is coming out on top. You're gonna rack up a lot of points, a lot of flexible points that you can transfer to a lot of different, you know, airline or hotel brands. But that's where I want to wrap up those benefits, and now it's time for the new subscriber shout out. And disclaimer, I've actually gotten a decent number of subscribers since my last subscriber shout out, but for whatever reason I can't see anybody's names. Like, usually I can just go into my Gmail, search up subscribe to you, and then that's pretty much how I read off who my new subscribers are. But nobody's shown up except one person, and so you get the individual shout out. Shout out to Omega, one of my newest subscribers. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. I hope you're liking the content if you're exploring some of the other videos. But yeah, if you are a new subscriber and you've definitely subscribed to me since the last new subscriber shout out, go ahead, comment in the comment section down below so I know you're a subscriber and I can shout you out. I really do appreciate my subscribers. You guys keep me making videos as my subscribers grow, so I really want to give you at least a shout out. That's the least I can do for you consuming my content. But I also wanted to update you all on the Points and Mile Academy video series. So that is going to be rolling out not the week that you're watching this video or the week that this video comes out, but the next week. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one video from the series come out, and then another video is going to be pretty much like a typical video, and so that way I can continue to get feedback and input on future videos within the series, so I can make sure that it's the best series possible. And so with that in mind, if you do have anything you want to see in the Points and Miles Academy series, please leave it in the comment section down below so I can be sure to include it in the video series. But now it's actually time to wrap up the video. So as always, if you found some value in the video, drop me a like to let me know. And if you want to be sure to catch more content just like this in the future, go ahead, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I do upload. But as always, the only thing more valuable than your points is your money, and the only thing more valuable than your money is your time. But until next time, peace.